What's up, YouTube? This is Kirito HD Gaming coming at you with a um I guess you can consider it a rant video, but this is more going based off the comments I've been getting in some of my videos that clearly people don't understand how the game works still, and they clearly continue to want to either crap on the devs or just come up with silly crap. So I was reading a comment, and this person was literally talking about how the RNG is different in a void vessel because you have to grind to get keys and then have a RNG based on the chest that you open up. For one, there is a RNG based on the chest due to the fact that there's different rarity stuff in each chest. So for one, the empty chest comes with pieces to craft your descendants, but it also can get you pieces that you normally would get throughout the world when you open things up. Um, those pieces directly, I don't know exactly what comes in them. I just know that you can get the descendant things that you need for Aeneas and Keelan. But for the pets, for instance, well, let's see. If you think about this stuff right here, normal or hard experimental material box, you'll get a set of all three of these. You get literally a set in all of this. You get like these throughout the whole thing when you open them up, no matter what. You're gonna get one of these at all times. Obviously you get more. You sometimes, yes, it is a RNG based thing, so you might get more on one set than you will the other. That's just how that's literally how a looter shooter is. People continue to forget that this game is a looter shooter. And then you get 6 keys on hard difficulty. You get 6 keys at the end of every mission. You use one of those keys to open up the box if you're still grinding for like your dogs or descendants. You're going to open that box. Now, I advise you, if you already got both dogs and also have the both descendants, I wouldn't open that box anymore, because one, you're just going to sell the stuff that you get out of that box to the ETA vendor. Unless you get gold or get the other thing out of the box that gives you a bunch of the resources. Other than that, all the blueprints you're going to end up selling to the ETA vendor. Excuse me. And then off of that too, people wanted to say a you can't start with the same team. They were talking about how you can't start up with the same team on what is it called, on the intercept battles. That, yeah, intercept battles. Yes, you can. I will show in a later video, because you know what? Here, I'll do it now actually. There, you got to realize the other players have to also do this too for you to be able to matchmake with them again. But you can matchmake with the same people. If someone's gonna come out of the way and tell you you can't, they obviously don't play the game enough to know. They really don't. And that's all I'm gonna say. I hate that I have all this stuff. I gotta get rid of everything since I already have enough of stuff inside my box ever since this new update happened. There we go. Okay. Let me. If it's purple, it's going bye-bye. Okay. So, where's my sniper at? I already have it on me. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's go. Let's fight. I'm gonna do the Pyromaniac on public. One, if you can't do most of these bosses solo by yourself, I don't think it matters the fact that you can get match made with the same people. At that point, you're wanting to get match made with the same people due to one reason. your build is not up to snuff, in my opinion, because most people do these battles by themselves now. Because they don't want to have to carry somebody through, and the only battle you have to team up with somebody is the Deathstalker. And then they were talking about shields being garbage, and the only time it's useful is when you're playing, what is it called? When you're playing the, Deathstalker. Now I'm going to show you real quick. So you see, it says restart mission or move, right? Well, don't even restart. Look, see this? See intercept battles. Start with current squad, L2. And then when you do this, look at this. Well, normally it would show, if they want to start with the same squad, it would show the name. The name would show like a green symbol around their character model or whatever it's called, that they're gonna restart with you. But since nobody hit that same button with me, everybody just hits the restart button instead of actually knowing in depth what to do. You guys instantly say, oh, you can't start with the same squad. Everyone just leaves or restarts automatically because it's easier, because, oh, it's a square button. No one looked at, apparently nobody likes to look at their actual damage stats. Because actually, as you can see back here, restart, show statistics, close, and start with the current squad. And then the damage is shown that you've done and everything. So the fact that I'm trying to, I'm proving the point that people don't understand how this game works still. And it's beyond baffling, if you ask me. I think I'm the only one that shot the dude. As you can see though, I already proved my point. I can prove it again, but I doubt anyone's gonna actually hit this button to restart with the same squad, so there's no point. I'm just gonna back out, prove my point. Obviously no one wanted to restart with me because people are more worried about doing what they want to do. Obviously, that's literally how it is. I don't even know why the Void Intercept still has people even trying to queue up with people. You're wasting your time. Most people copy builds on YouTube, and most of those builds that people copy can literally kill a boss in a one phase, knowing that the boss is decreased in health and everything. As you can see, I did 61 million. If I go solo it right now, I'll do like 20 million and kill it, because it's literally, it's weaker. So it's just one of those things where I find it funny that people don't understand how this game still works, but then they want to complain about the game. There's nothing to complain about this game. There really isn't. People that complain about this game are just basically not good at the game, in my opinion, anymore, and they just want to come up with something to complain about. At least that's my opinion on the subject. But to even get into the Void Vessel, I'm not gonna do a Void Vessel. It's clear as day. Like, If you're complaining about keys, when you get 6 automatically, and then every event that has came out since Christmas, during the Christmas event, you did stuff. You literally did things to earn keys with the event. And then with the event tab at the research center, you literally could buy keys, right? Well, look at this. Wrong button. Wrong button again. Just for the keys alone, where is it? Was it beyond this? I have 73 keys. 73. So, for one, if I have 73 keys, I'm fair to say that you have plenty of chances to get keys. You didn't pay attention to the research center for the events. You didn't pay attention to the challenges you had to get done during the events to get the keys, apparently. Or you just didn't play the game. Because it's simple. And on top of that, it is literally simple to go in and get the Void Vessel done and get out. And I'm going to also say this. If you're having problems in the Void Vessel on hard difficulty, it is one, your build and the people you're getting match made with. And if you're a low mastery rank, that is the reason why. I have a friend that is not even in the 20 mastery rank. When he goes solo, he gets about the same mastery rank people or lower. Me, I'm mastery rank 29. Every time I get match made with people, they're always at least 24 and above. Every now and then I get someone that needs to get carried, especially if I do like the Death Stalker or something. If I go do the Death Stalker, every now and then I will run into a person that is like mastery rank 17 or something, and they're wanting to get carried, because most people don't even do the Death Stalker anymore because they already earned everything that they wanted from that boss. So the only people that are trying to do it are people that need to get it done or trying to get it done. But yeah, most of the time I get match made with my own mastery rank. Now, is there some type of matchmaking thing where you're getting match made with your own mastery rank? I wouldn't say that exactly, but it possibly could be a thing. Because people were complaining about people getting carried during stuff. So it could possibly be a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. And that would make sense in a way, because people, when this game first came out, people were getting carried left and right. I'm not joking you. People still do it to this day. If I hop on a Freyna and go play a special operation and like Echo Swamp or something, I literally will have 3 people sit there and not move and do anything because they know my Freyna would just wipe the entire floor. People want to get carried in this game. That's the problem. And people don't know how to be unique and make their own stuff. I don't care if you copy someone's build, but if you don't know how to use it and you want to complain, then you're the problem. And then the whole petty system, about people saying that it's nerfed for newer content. Well, the petty system works like this, if you didn't know this. Well, at least this is what I've noticed. For instance, if I go play a mission, right? The Ancient Knight Polymer synthetic polymer, polymers. I can't even speak straight right now. Damn. I'm just gonna call it polymer. Ancient Knight Polymer is at 61% for the petty system, right? Well, guess what? This goes up by like 6 or 7% if I'm correct. I can't remember exactly what it goes up by. Like, I did this once and it's at 7%. So let's see real quick. It's probably varies each time. You probably don't get a set chance every time, but I'm pretty sure it's anywhere from 5 to 7% if I'm correct. But let's see. Yeah, it's somewhere in between, because this is 7, this is 61. If I divided 61 by 7, it's not going to give me a literally a set number. It's going to have a decimal point. So I've noticed it's anywhere from like 5 to 7%, somewhere around those lines. And then with the Void Vessel, I did notice that normally your percentage went off the fact that, like, say if you open one of the things up and like the Serena code was a 10% drop rate, right? Well, I did notice that with the Serena code being 10%, if I didn't get the Serena code, I get 10% to my target reward list. It would go up by 10% because that's what the percent drop rate for the Serena thing is. Now that could just be a coincidence. I don't know if that's true or not because like I said, my percentage is varied. And yes, the percentage is varied in the boxes you opened up at the end of the void vessel too. So I don't know if that's a thing or not. And just like I said now, you don't get a percentage value for what the drop rate for these patterns right here are either. Not patterns, but these blueprints. It doesn't tell you. If you go over here real quick, it will not tell you the percent drop rate, but I have noticed I got anywhere from 5 to 7% for the drop rates to happen. As you can see, it doesn't tell you the drop rates at all. But with it giving you, like, if you look at it, it gives you times 15, right? And this one gives you times 10, right? Times 10. Well, most of the time I've realized if you go to the ETA vendor, and you sell anything that's like times 10 or times 15, they're normally a percentage of 3 to 6% drop rate, if I'm correct. I don't normally go based off all this because I don't really look into the game like that, because like at the end of the day I don't complain about this stuff. But like as you can see, let's see if I can sell anything right now, right here. I don't have anything. I need to open some. Let's say Ajax code, right? It's giving me a 5. It's giving me a 3 for Valby. It's giving me a 3 for Glay. It's giving me a 5 for Viessa, and it give me a 10 for Lepic, right? Well, let's see Lepic real quick. Let's go to Lepic, right? And let's go to this, right? You have a 10%, a 10%, a 3%, a 3%, a 10%, a 10%. So as you can see, 3s and 10s, right? Well, let's go to the Viessa code. That gives you 5. You have a 6, a 15, a 15, a 20, and a 10. So with the 15s and 20%, that's why she's only worth 5, but there's still areas where she has a 3 and a 6. So that's possibly the reason why. Now, Ajax is worth 5. Let's go to Valby. Valby was worth 3, right? 3. Well, you have a Valby code at 38, a 15, a 15, a 38, a 10. You have only 1%, one drop rate that's a low, and that is a 10%. Everything else on the board is 20% or higher or no, 15% or higher for Valby. So the middle option or the last option, and there's only one option where it's the second option, and it's the second rarest. And that is why Valby is rated a 3. So if you go based off this stuff right here, if you go based off this, knowing that I'm only getting 3 for selling her pattern, and you're getting a 38, a 15, a 15, a 38, and a 10, well, you're getting all those, well, you're gonna, I don't know if this is how I would do it, but to get the average of all of those, right? I'm assuming not the best at math, but I would assume you just add all those percentages up because that's how averages are done. You add all the stuff up and then you divide it by how many there is. (116% divided by 5. So our average, basically, if you think about it, the average drop rate for a Valby code, normal Valby, not ultimate, it is a 23.2% drop. If you look at it like that, compared to something saying there's only 5 or 6 patterns that something holds, and say there's a 10, a 10, a 6, a 6, and a 3, right? That's 35 divided by 5. That is a 7% drop rate, basically. So you're going to get somewhere in between that when you use the petty system. Now, like I said, this could just be a coincidence, and this is maybe not how it works. But I'm assuming this is somewhere around the lines of how it probably works. Not saying it's a 100% the way how it works, but I would assume it's something around those lines. Because I'm not a dev, I didn't make this game, I didn't make how the petty system works. I'm just assuming by how I've used the petty system, it's been somewhere around those lines. And as you can still see, if you go to Keelan, his code and everything is still worth 15, right? Everything gives you a premium ETA voucher for 15 still for him. And then for Aeneas, it's the same thing. It gives you 15. Because at the end of the day, there's 5 items or 6 items out of those chests, I think. There's 4 boxes you can open. 2 are going to be for the dog and 2 are going to be for the descendant. And then when you open it up, they're going to have separate percentages for each piece you can get. You have a chance to get gold. You have a chance to get like a box that gives you like material for your catalyst or whatever it is, I think. And then you're going to have the 4 pieces for the actual descendant itself, the code, and the other 3 blueprints. They're going to have all that all in one box. Well, they have it separated in percentages. You have a low percent, you have a high percent for stuff, and a medium. And then if you already own the dog, it actually adjusts the percentages for you too. If you already own a dog, I did realize that out too when I got the dog, because the first dog that came out I bought because it gave you a bundle for $10. No, for $15, my bad. For $15, you got the dog itself and you got a uniform for it for $15. I was like, hey, shoot, say less. Other than that, I don't normally buy when new content comes out. I normally earn it. I've bought 1 dog and I bought 2 of the descendant packages when the game first came out. And that's how I got some of my descendant, that's how I got some of my, what is it called, my descendant, like right here, this is the only one I don't own. You get a descendant slot, XPs, and then a actually ticket for either Kyle, Esmos, or Eugen, right? This one is 950, this one was I think 600, and this one was like 300. 600 is literally basically equivalent of $11, if I'm correct. The 300 one is literally $5, basically. It's like 6 or 7. So it's the equivalent to that. It's not that much. It's better than what some people I've noticed do. I literally started a new playthrough on my PlayStation version because I played. This is my Nexon account, and then I can switch my primary to my PlayStation, and I've played on that. And I have, kid you not, I've seen people buy Ultimate Bunny straight up. And I don't know how people are still buying Ultimate Bunny knowing that she's easier to get now. I already got a piece on my new playthrough because it's a 32% drop for one of her pieces. And people are buying her. Like, they were level 1, Mastery Rank 1 in Kingston. And they had Ultimate Bunny already. Unless they literally got on each day after doing the prologue, they got on each day and just got the login bonus and then got off, they probably bought the skin. At least, in my opinion. So, in reality, this game is not even that bad. This game doesn't have a problem with nerfs or buffs, in my opinion. Everybody wants to always talk about all the issues with this game. The problem is not the fact that there's any issues. The problem, everyone wants cheese. Everyone wants everything free. That's the problem. It's the community. It is not the devs. From day one, people cried about this game being too hard and grindy. Now it's not grindy, and now it's easy. It took me 1 hour. 1 hour to get all the pieces for Blair. And guess what? To get Blair's pieces, like, I got all of Blair's pieces. I have only opened up 5 patterns. 3 of his pieces I got on the very first try with the advanced shapes. Or the 20% drop, didn't use any shapes, got on the first try. The 2 other ones that are I used advanced shapes for, got it on the first try. The last one, I took 3 tries to get. 3 tries. And on the 3rd try, I got it. So, they made this game way too easy. Advanced shapes should not even be in the game. And advanced shapes, it should have came in the game like it did around Christmas time, and it be in an event future. Meaning you had a certain time period to earn one and use it. And then if you didn't use it, it sits in your inventory until you decide to use it. They should not let you craft them, and they should not come back for every single event, and they should not be stacked up in the ETA vendor, because it is way too easy to get them now, meaning you get everything in this game too easily. But people still want to complain even when the game is easy now, because now it's not hard enough, or because they're nerfing stuff now, even though they nerfed all the content, but they did not nerf but one descendant. They buff all the descendants and nerf the descendant once. One descendant, and that's Aeneas. And I even showed in the video that she is basically not even nerfed. She is still a wrecking house. Probably the best descendant still to use. The fact that you get a speed boost when you use her fourth ability. You get a speed boost. Freyna doesn't get a speed boost unless you use a certain red mod, which, in my opinion, that red mod is useless. So I'm just gonna be honest. The complaining needs to stop. I'm responding to somebody's comment, and I'm gonna be straightforward with this. Those problems they named out, I just pointed them out that they're wrong on all of them. That tells me you don't play this game. That tells me you don't know nothing about this game, or you have not paid attention to anything. I have my Nexon account, my PSN account tied to the same account by a link, and then I had issues with my Twitch when this game first came out, so I had a separate Nexon account on a separate account now. And I've maxed out the story twice and got ultimates on 2 of them out of the 3. I think I know what I'm talking about. I have over 1,000 hours played on this game too. The problem is all the other content creators that are out there don't even explain most of these problems. They complain just like you guys, but they don't explain what the problems are. They don't ever explain how a petty system might work, or at least try to explain it like I did through this video already. They try to tell you the best routes to go get patterns, and then they end up telling you that one of the patterns has a 15% drop rate, but guess what? When you use a shape on a 15% drop rate, it only goes up to 20. And then when you use an advanced shape, it's a middle option. Middle options do not get affected by an advanced shape. The middle option does not get affected. The 15 and 20% do not get affected by the advanced shapes, if I'm correct. Yes, you have a better chance of getting it if you use a regular shape. It goes up to 20. You have a better chance of getting it. That is true. But to get the purple material pattern, you have to run the special operations. Most special operations were run for 20 minutes compared to running a mission twice, the same mission twice, getting 4 patterns guaranteed if you run on the 250% or the 400%. If the mission is tied to a 400%, you get 4 patterns automatically. Running it twice, and running it twice with a descendant that can just run through it quickly, it'd take you less than 5 minutes. And to do it twice, it'd take you probably 6-7 minutes in total. So the thing is some people actually don't always, that some people listen to content creators way too much, and that's the problem. Find this stuff out yourself. I found out all this stuff on my own. Like, I don't try to copy people's builds, but hey, you know what's funny? The skill crits are literally always used by almost everybody if the descendant is critable. Shot focus is a famous thing to use. Spear and shield has always been famous to use. You know, you're gonna end up using stuff like chill specialist and singular specialist. You know, these are the common things that people use. The ones that people start copying people on is these right here. They start copying with the yellow ones, and then they start copying with the red ones. Red ones is kind of obvious because, you know, they're going to use the best one, and that's what content creators are going to use. But this one, a lot of people like using these, and a lot of people don't understand. Some of these that you use, like my favorite is Decimator for a lot of descendants that are dot damage. Same thing, using multi-talented when you use dimension skills is also a nice one. Dangerous ambush um is good, but I always say dangerous ambush is probably the best to use in a group setting, because if you're doing in a solo setting, you're probably going to get targeted. So your 24.9% is never going to really happen, but your 49.8 can happen if you immobilize the enemy. And most of the time you use this on Colossi, and yes, you can immobilize an enemy, but if you're just going to use Haley and just wipe it off the face of the map, or Lepic and wipe it off the face of the map in one phase, Dangerous Ambush isn't really going to be that good unless you get the benefit from it. And if the Colossi is targeting you, you're not going to get the first benefit. And the other benefit you're going to get when you finally knock it down. Well, sometimes you're just going to race the you're going to knock it down once, and then you're going to get the boost. So you'll knock it down once and get the boost. Dangerous Ambush is still good to use, but the problem is you're only going to get the second part of it. You're not going to get the first part. So if you're looking for that 24.9% and not the 49.8, you're not going to see that happen much if you're doing solo. It's something you normally do in a group setting, to be honest. But yes, Dangerous Ambush is still going to be on my build when it comes to playing Lepic, due to the fact that I'm still going to get the 49.8 because I'm going to knock it down. I'm going to immobilize it before finishing it. And I'm just going to get that extra boost that's going to finish it even quicker. But like a lot of people, like for instance, a lot of people used to use MP Collector, and I tried it out myself. I was like, why not? It is useless. MP Collector, in my opinion, is useless. When defeating an enemy, instantly recovers 12.2% of your max MP at a 17% chance. That is a low percent chance. And you only get 12.2 of your max MP. So if your MP is not high, if your MP is somewhere in the hundreds, you're only going to get a little bit of that max MP. Your max MP would have to be somewhere in the 300s or 400s for 12.2 to make a difference, probably. Just saying. Potent Collector. When defeating an enemy, instantly recovers 12.2 for custom resources at a 17% chance. This is for like Aeneas's 3 and 4. I used it at first, and I find it useless. It's not on any of my builds anymore. HP Collector is the only useful one. When defeating an enemy, instantly recovers 9% of max HP. Cooldown is 2 seconds. There's no set chance of it happening. You just have a cooldown of 2 seconds. Only useful one. I'm not going to even get into all the other ones anymore. I'm just saying a lot of people copy a lot of these on people's builds. When it comes to the rare or normal, a lot of people don't copy when it comes to normal builds. People know if it's a non-crit build, you're going to use the non-crit things like this one. No, not like this one. Like this one. No, where is it? This one. No, yeah, what? Amplification, right? Yeah. You get singular skill power modifier of 61.3, and then you get a minus of crit of 140, right? This is what you would run for a non-crit build. It would look like something like this. While for crit builds, you're just going to run the crits. That's obviously around the whole neighborhood. Now, the other one that people copy and do not copy sometimes is if they're going to use focus on something, they're going to use focus, or they're going to use the master, or they're going to use the blue one. The blue one gives you the most power. The purple focus gives you the next most power with a skill cooldown, while the master, on the other hand, would normally give you skill power and then these power of that attribute, which normally I find the master the best, I think, coming to dot damages, if I'm correct. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I test these mods. Then you have people copying ranges and stuff, but a lot of people I've noticed lately, they will copy a lot of builds out there that have like a negative effect of like skill power modifier minus 20 or MP, and then they will run no max MP on their thing, and they're like, why am I always running at MP? Look, I got 459, right? 459. And I even have one. Oh, I don't have it on this. I just got nimble fingers, actually. I don't even have the other one on here. Is it on this one? Maximize. No, that's skill cost. Right here, skill cooldown, right? Now I have 390 instead of 400. And that's because I have max MP on. I have max MP on. Right? You want max MP on your sensor no matter how you look at it. And some people probably don't even know how this unique archive factor works because they probably never looked. The best way to do it and get your archive is this right here, obviously, the Sigma sector. The Sigma sector gives you it. The 400% give you it. But the 400% give you a whopping 300. 300. 250 gives you nothing. 100 gives you nothing. Only the 400s. The 400s give you it. The Sigma sectors give you it. I don't know if the special operations give you it. They might. Does the Void Purge give you it? The Void Purge gives you 300. So it gives you it. I don't know if it increases. No, it doesn't increase. It just gives you it automatically. So yeah. Which I actually like that because now the only way you can max out is by playing Sigma Sector, really, because it gives you the most. It gives you 1400 or 4000 on your very first time of the day, which is actually something I enjoy. Because the fact that you're only gonna have to play this if you want to level them up the quickest. The good thing about that is, if you do that alone, people are gonna get bored of the content. So people are gonna branch off and do some other things, so they're not gonna max it out fully. I'm assuming this one right here will give you more than 300 like this one does, but I don't have it unlocked because I really found the Void Erosion kind of boring. And now that I realize that after I get past 24, I can group play the whole way through. Meaning I have group builds that I would like to run with people. That's for another day though. But yeah, that is basically what I'm trying to say is like people find so many things to complain about, but I like always come out and list like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Because clearly some people don't know what they're talking about. Like oh yeah, the petty system being nerfed for newer content, I don't think it's nerfed. It's just though that content is a lower percent drop. Meaning the percentage of the petty system going up after you complete it and you didn't get the item, it's gonna go up slowly. That's just normal. The petty system should not even be in this game. The game hasn't even been out for a year. The petty system came out in Season 2. It came out, not Season 2, Episode 2. It came out in Season 2, if I'm correct. Or Season 1 at the end. One of those two things. It came out around those time periods. And I'm going to be honest right now. The petty system should have not been in the game literally like 6 to 8 months after the game came out. It shouldn't. The petty system, in my opinion, is killing the game. The easy content is killing the game. Like I said this on my other video, every single hard boss has basically been nerfed. Because you can solo all of them. And soloing them, they get a decreased HP. And then other Colossi got nerfed in general. Just in general. I know Frostwalker, Molten Fortress, both got nerfed in general. I don't know if Deathstalker got nerfed. Deathstalker is just easy if you run the right build. If you don't run a shield build in Deathstalker, you deserve to not get anything to drop for you. I'm sorry. You run a shield build in there. If you don't run a shield build, you're literally just dying and causing problems for your teammates. Gluttony, I don't know if it got nerfed or not, but the fact that you can literally just one phase it, basically, I personally can't, because I haven't even made a build for Gluttony to one phase it, because I could care less. I earned all my Peacemaker parts, and I'm never going to fight Gluttony, just like I'm never going to fight Deathstalker again either, unless my friends need the pieces. And then I'll help. I'll have builds to help. Like if I go in a group setting with Gluttony, I'm going to bring my Valby build to help with the things during his immune phase. I also have a Shield Ajax build that I use for Deathstalker. I also know a same build that I can use for a shield build for. You could make a shield build for Haley, a shield build for Enzo, a shield build for Valby to have more crit when you're fighting him. You can also make a shield build Eugen to keep your team alive. You have everything possible to do, but people still like to run Deathstalker with fucking Bunny, with fucking Aeneas. Like, learn how to play a different Descendant. That's the problem. People don't learn how to branch off. No wonder why the game's boring, or no wonder why you're always complaining about something. You're always stuck on one Descendant. And finally, it took forever in my opinion, it took forever for content creators to branch off. For the longest time, the content creators were just using one or two Descendants. Now you're seeing a bunch of content creators using everybody. Because the content that's coming out can't just be cheesed through. Sadly, they still nerf stuff. Just for instance, the Void Erosion from, I think it's from 26 to 29 or 25 to 29. I can't remember which one it is. The enemies got nerfed. They're not as bullet spongy and stuff. But 30 stayed the same. I'm just saying, the game is not got problems besides one, and that is lack of content, which I don't even say anymore because the content's not lacking in my opinion anymore. And with season 3 around the corner in a time period of 60 days, or at least that's when the battle pass ends, and that's I think when the new season starts, that's when we're gonna get a whole, basically I guess like an expansion type with what they were talking about. And they obviously have their stuff coming up that they're going to show stuff for all that. So that's also cool. The awaiting future that everybody wanted, Jiggle Fix is coming. Now, I will say this. A lot of people don't realize two things held down this game probably with a lot of things. The wanting of Jiggle Physics, that is taking up time for them to do when they could have done something else. And then you also have the fact that Last Gen is now not getting support in Season 3 and up. Meaning, they're dropping Last Gen, and if they just never had Last Gen support, this game would have been already 10 times better with everything. They had to portray to Last Gen. You have to always portray to your weakest link to keep a game floating a boat. Because if you don't, then the people on those Last Gen are going to complain. And it's going to cause problems. And that's why they finally came out and said they're not going to have support anymore for it. Which they should have just never had support for in the beginning. I'm just going to be honest. I think people complain way too much about this game when there's games that are 10 times worse. I'm sorry. Destiny is the example. There's so many Destiny fanboys that come into this fucking game and want to shit on this game. But Destiny you paid for, and then it became free to play at one point. That's just pure disrespect for the people that paid for it. Their expansions you gotta pay for. Some type of like dungeons or whatever it's called in Destiny and some other stuff you have to pay for. Don't get me wrong, they constantly go on sale. But you still gotta pay for it. What the fuck is the point of going for free to play if everything else in the game is paid for? To me, that's not even a free to play game. A gacha game is an example for a free to play. You just either you pay to try to get lucky to get pulls, or you literally earn the stuff to get the pulls for free and just hope your luck is good. This game, free to play, the way to get stuff is either buy it or get your drop chances of it. Basically, you don't even have to buy anything but battle pass or cosmetic items, because buying Descendants and the dog and everything is like useless now because of, well, the dog maybe not, but the advanced shapes to get like ultimates and stuff. That's the fact that you still can get ultimates out in the open world like you could always is crazy. In my opinion, Ultimate Blair should have been the very first ultimate that you had to get through a certain like playing like They should have made it to where when he came out, you get a box at the end of the Sigma sector or something, and you had to get a percent drop rate for his item or something like that. Instead of it being out in the open world and using advanced shapes like always. They should abide by how the Void Vessel is. Because the petty system works on the Void Vessel, yes, but you still have to play it. It's not guaranteed on the first try, always. Like with advanced shapes, it's almost guaranteed half of the time. Or in my case, more than half. It's different for everybody, though. People continue to forget, because it says it's a 32 or 38% drop rate, you still have a 60-something fail rate to get one of the other items. That's just how things work. And normally there's always two 32s or two 38s, while there's a middle option of 15 or 20, and then the rare options are 3 or 6 or 6 and 10. You have a chance of always getting those too, even if you use the advanced shape. But most of the time, the advanced shape will come in handy on the first or second try. Sometimes you gotta go a little further than that. And the fact that they actually added another feature in this game that I actually love, but also think it's gonna make the game way too easy and less grindy now, is now you just gotta get a reactor and external component all set in the blue of your liking and just max it out. Like, look. Just max it out, look. I have a million. I'm in the millions. I don't even mind. Just max it out. Look, just max it out. See, just all you gotta do is max it out. It uses this. Now this goes away by a whole lot quicker when you're doing these, but hey, this is also easy. Energy control core, right? Oh, Piberry. Let's see. Basic. No, it's under this, right? No. It's not in here either. Core material? No. Well, I don't know exactly where you get them all from, but I know if you go over here to the... Actually, you know what? I can just go from here. If you go to the Sigma sector, you automatically get 1500. Right? Energy core, energy control core. You get 1500, and then if I'm also correct, let's say... Where is it? Where is one that I can just get rid of? I can't get rid of it. I don't want to get rid of anything. Well, you pick one in here. Let's say... Let's just get rid of the... I don't care about the module drop rate anymore. Let's get rid of this one, right? Energy core 45. So by deconstructing these, you get energy core 2. And then the mission, you get energy core. So you have multiple ways of getting this stuff. So... I'm just saying... There's multiple ways of getting everything. And... I don't know what else to explain. I mean, if you want, go watch my new playthrough on my PSN version of my primary account. And I promise you, I'm doing everything from scratch. Yes, I do have the bonuses from the event still that I end up using. And it's just going to help me level up my characters more. Or have a weapon like the Enduring Legacy right off rip. That is true. That's just going to help me destroy enemies quicker. But while go through that, I'm going to actually show everyone how to grind for stuff to get stuff quicker. If you want to get stuff quicker, what stuff to use, how to use things, and all that. And I will say this, the whole transfer system, I use my transfer system for Blair, right? Before I go, I actually despise using the transfer system because I didn't know how it was going to work. And I wasn't a big fan of it. But, as you can see, double up on this, double up on that. So I had doubled up on 2 items that I never did. I never doubled up on due to the fact that, and then I also think when I transferred my stuff over, it didn't transfer everything. I don't think it transferred everything 100% over. I don't know exactly how it transferred. I know, okay, my bad. It transferred everything over, but it doubled up on some things I didn't want to double it up on because I didn't know where they were going to put his 4 main components that you get, the 4 main module slots you get with an ultimate. I didn't know where they were going to put him. But if you go here to the implant, like for instance, Sharon, I can implant the R and the C can't be implanted, right? Consumables to return. So I guess I get a return a return for that. I don't know, but like if I transfer this, consumables to return none, because R gets transferred over automatically, right? The X automatically comes with the ultimate and the normal. So if I implant this, I will get a return consumable of an energy activator and a crystal catalyst because I already have a energy activator used on both. I already have crystals used on both. So I'll get a return. So that's the good part is you get a return. The thing is this transfers to this right here. And already has something there because I put something there. But like for instance, if I got her and the Alamundine was already there and it wasn't just a blank box and I wanted to transfer the R over, then yeah, that's perfectly fine. But if the Alumundine's there already, I wish I could transfer the R to any set category. Now I don't care about that because it should transfer over to wherever you have it set on here to over here. But see, the fact that I can get an energy activator and a crystal catalyzation back is crazy by using this. Eugen. Let's see if there's anybody else. No, it's just her. So technically I'll get 2 things back. That could be considered hard for everybody. Now, I'm personally not going to do that just due to the fact that getting just those 2 things back isn't enough for me to waste that I got when I could use it on like Haley or something later. Or whoever's the next, Enzo or whoever's next. Whenever we find out the next ultimate, I start grinding on that character. So then I can use the implant system since I have 2 of those, or I have 1 now left. But this is it for this video. I hope me explaining this stuff more down is the best. Leave in the comments of what you think, but also leave in the comments if you would like me while on my PSN version of my primary account, if you would like me to go more in depth on all the areas you could play, like the Sigma Sector, the Void Vessel, and the drops and all that, and how the petty system works. I will go more in depth, but I'm not going to go more in depth if no one asks about it. Like I said, I'm only responding to a comment because they just want to respond with remarks that aren't true or they have little knowledge of. And I need to come out and say, well, this is how it really works. Like, for instance, when I was talking about the Void Vessel, each chest has multiple items in it. So it's going to have an RNG base of which item you get. Just like if you're trying to get stuff for your dog, if you're trying to get stuff for your dog, right? You go to library and you go to fellow, right? Enhancement material, right? You have this you have this and this. Well, the blue one you get more of quicker. The purple one you get about the middle option, and then you got the ultimate protein compound, which I've only earned 3 of these. One of them I've earned through the Void Vessel, and I've ran the Void Vessel over 100 times. And I've only earned 1 of those through the Void Vessel. So this is rare. At least for me. And I've got it 2 other times through events. So yeah. That's just me though. But that is it for the video. Leave your comments, like and subscribe. But I'm gonna be honest. one last thing is, person in the comments was talking about like aim assist and like something with controllers with colossal fights or whatever. I think it was. Um, Honestly, I don't use aim assist. I don't use aim assist in any of my games. So if you don't ever see me use the aim assist in my game, then well, tough luck. I don't use aim assist. I don't. So there's that. Let's see. They were talking about the Void Intercept Shafts controller users, especially those who with aim assist. Well, why do you need to use aim assist? Then they talked about the Aeneas, about not targeting stuff because it auto targets. Um, and then they talk about the delay in shield regain and how shields are useless unless you fight the intercept boss, Deathstalker. No, shield builds in general are good. You just gotta know how to use the shield build. That's it. If you don't know how to use it, don't talk about it. There's multiple things in this game that helps with shield builds. There's multiple descendants that help with shield builds. Just like Enzo literally heals your shield for you, so it's appropriately to probably put shield on him. I'm just saying there is many things to do. Just saying. You just gotta take the effort and time to read and do it yourself. Or have someone that you follow and like on a social media that goes through this stuff that will help you out instead of just copying builds and staring at constant content of reruns that they do to show their build off. That's the problem. People watch the wrong people. A lot of the content creators just do builds, 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 builds. That's not really content in my eyes. Peace. This is Kirito HD Gaming signing off.